Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Epic 7 video. So after 6 long years, I have finally managed to clear floor 100 of the Abyss. Just kidding guys. I'm just very lazy when it comes to Epic 7 PvE content. I could have easily cleared this a while back, but I just didn't really have the time, or I never really bothered to. But now has come the time where I actually need the rewards, specifically the mystics on floor 109, so obviously I'm going to have to clear floor 100 to get to that. And I figured I'd make a video on this because floor 100 is one of those like more iconic floors, I guess. It's not really difficult, but it used to be like the deepest floor of the Abyss until they released floor 120. And this video is by no means a guide to floor 100. There's plenty of those on YouTube you can go check out. Even the ones that are kind of outdated will still get you through and give you a detailed review of how to clear this stage. I'm simply just going to go over my characters really quick, their builds, and give maybe some alternatives to some of the characters I use because they are all 5 stars and one even being a limited 5 star. So this is by no means a free-to-play friendly team, but there are a lot of free-to-play friendly options out there. Alright, let's start off with Brig. This is going to be your front tank. You do get Brig for free from, I forgot what it's called. It's like the Adventurer's Path or something, but it does take a while. But everyone will eventually get them. So if you don't have them, you can use maybe Adventurer Ross, Falcon and Clury, any knight that has a buff removal or strip. You can even use someone like Unbound Arrowwell as well. If you have her specialty change, that works as well. Anyways, this is his gear. And then for his artifact, I'm using Midnight Bloom to almost cap him out on 100% crit chance. It also helps out with the team building as well if you're low on crit chance. You can use other artifacts that help with him when it comes to tanking, like Aureus, etc, etc. Those will also work. Next, we have Bellona, or Crescent Moon Bellona. The reason I brought her is because there's a mechanic in the boss, which I'll go over later on, where she has crit resist, and every time you don't land a crit, she gets a stack and she'll get a buff that allows her to continuously heal. So if you have a character that guarantee crits like Lone Crescent Bellona, it's pretty nice to bring them along. Otherwise, you can bring a secondary DPS that has some sort of buff removal or strip. The most free-to-play friendly one I can think of is probably Fire Mercedes. These are her stats, or her gear. As for the artifact, I have her on Sigurd's Scythe. Alright, next is Tamarin, who is our healer. Honestly, all of you guys should have Tamarin. You get her for free from the Hero Connections now, after the patch. If you don't have Tamarin for some reason, I guess you could use Angelic Montmorency, although she won't be nearly as effective as Tamarin, because Tamarin not only provides an attack buff for your team, she also has a Dispel or buff removal on her skill 1, which Montmorency lacks. And trust me, you're going to need as many buff removals as possible in this fight in order to make it more consistent and stable. Anyways, these are her gears, or equipments. And then I have her on Wondrous Potion Vial. It's probably the best artifact for this particular run. You actually probably want this maxed out, so you don't have some random RNG where she does not dispel a debuff, because there are quite a few debuffs in this particular fight. I'm just being cheap with my artifact charms, that's why this isn't maxed out. Alright, last but definitely not least is Luna. This is basically going to be your main damage dealer. It does not have to be a 5-star, it could be anyone that does high single target damage. A good free-to-play example would be like Commander Lorena. She's a free 3-star that you'll eventually get, and you can get her specialty change. Or you can just use any single target hunt character that you're using for either Wyvern or Banshee. That will work as well. Anyways, this is her gear. And then for the artifact, for your main DPS, you always want to be running Daydream Joker, as the Abyss bosses do take damage from the extra damage dealt based on their max HP. Alrighty, other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay as usual. Alright, so for the first wave, it is very simple. You just want to kill the boss as soon as possible. Ignore the ads, because this is basically a damage check. If you kill the ads, it's going to cause the boss to do his like final attack, which will one-shot your entire team. And if you don't kill this boss on the first wave fast enough, he'll use the ultimate attack and one-shot your team anyways. So they basically designed this stage just to check if your gear is up to par with floor 100 standards. So yeah, like I said, just focus the main boss, completely ignore the mushrooms and that one other ad that is on the stage. I don't use a skill 2 here on Brig because we don't need the shield, and like I said, we want to kill the boss as soon as possible. So we're going to be saving that shield and the extra stacks for the next half when we actually need Brig to use his extra attack. Okay, on to the second wave. Here I don't use the shield either because my team's fairly healthy, and the apocalyptic Ravi is going to summon a dragon anyway, so even if I did use the shield to get the extra attack and defense break, they would have just been completely worthless because the Drake would have been summoned. And the Drake's mechanics are pretty basic and simple. They're kind of similar to Wyvern 13's mechanics, sort of. Basically, once you get him to a certain HP threshold, he is going to get a undispellable shield, and you need to break that shield before he gets off another attack. Otherwise, just like the Wyvern 13 Drake, he will one-shot or almost one-shot your entire team. Unfortunately, Bologna gets blinded here, but we got lucky and still landed the crit. This almost pushes... Oh no, it does push him. It pushes him to the phase, like I said. He's going to get a undispellable barrier here, and you need to break this barrier as soon as possible. Here we're going to pop Tamarin's ultimate, or skill 3. Here I believe I soul burn Bologna just because we need to break this shield as soon as possible. Ideally, I would like a defense break, which we're going to get here before I soul burn Bologna's skill 1, but doesn't always happen. And like I said, the shield is undispellable, so neither Brig or Tamarin will be able to dispel it with their skills. So we broke the shield. Here I used Luna's S3. I think this also does enough damage to push him into the second phase, which is basically the same as the first one, but instead this one happens when he's at around 30 to 40% HP. Gonna get the speed and defense down on the Wyvern here. Now we soul burn again. Almost done with the Drake's shield. Here I believe I go for the shield into the basic, skill 1. That breaks the shield, and we're going to soul burn Luna's skill 1 here to almost, or finish off the Drake. Wow, that actually did more damage than I thought it would. Alright, and then after that, Ravi comes back, and then she summons these 2 ads. The first 2 ads you can completely ignore. They do some like minor annoying debuffs, but it's not as detrimental as the other mobs she will spawn later on. As you can see there, my Tamarin didn't crit. So Ravi got this. You'll see it again shortly when one of my characters don't crit. It's like War God's Might or something. And when that stacks up to 5 times, she gets a repetitive or continuous healing buff. And you basically need to... She also gives herself an anti-crit buff there. You basically need to dispel that continuous healing buff. Otherwise, she's going to heal back all the damage you do. And it's a lot of healing. That's why you need to bring a lot of characters with buff removal and dispels, or bring a character like Bologna that is guaranteed to crit. Here I go for the skill 3, I believe. As you can see, it misses the crit here. And that will give her 5 stacks of the War God's Might, and now she has that continuous healing. Unfortunately, here... I don't really want to use the skill 1 on Tamarin. Maybe I should have, but instead I decided to push everyone up and give them the attack buff. It might, it didn't, I don't think it was a good idea to use the dispel because she's not like really that damaged. So it's like she heals up a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. If she's like around like more than half HP or something, then it would probably be worth using the dispel on Tamarin there because she would have healed to full HP versus healing the full HP from like 80% isn't nearly as bad. Unfortunately, Tamarin gets provoked there. which is not good. I don't know if that ignores effect resist, but my Terran does have a fair amount of effect resist, so that's a bit unfortunate. Go for the skill 3 on Luna. Lance, defense break. Unfortunately, Brig gets stunned there, which is pretty bad. Alright, good thing we have Potion Vial there, so we can use the skill 3 on Tamron. Go for a Soul Burn here on Ravi because she's defense broken. And unfortunately, due to the anti-crit buff, Brig is missing a lot of his crits here. Here I Soul Burn the shield on Brig because both Brig and Tamron are looking a little bit in the dangerous. Well, not really dangerous, but it's just they're getting low on HP, so I don't want to risk anything. Alright, this is another phase. She's going to summon stronger ads, basically, and I was not paying attention at the time during the run on which ad provided which debuff. I wanted to get rid of the unbuffable on Tamron. I thought it was the dark ad or dark mob. It turns out the dark mob is the one that silences, and then the light one is the one that is unbuffable. So when you guys are doing your run, don't make the same mistake I did here. So I focused down the dark one, which is the silence on Bellona, which doesn't really matter that much. I was more worried about my Tamron since she's like close to death. I even soul burned her S1 there just to make sure she healed for extra. Alright, as you can see, the dark mob goes down and it removes the silence buff. That's undispellable until you kill that mob from my Bellona. We go for a skill 3 here. If I had attack buff, maybe this would have killed the mob and given my whole team vigor, but probably not. Yeah, probably not. I wasn't sure if I was going to get Tamron's idle buff here. I know I was going to fully heal her, but it turns out doesn't matter if you have unbuffable or not on Tamron. She'll always get the idle form buff. She just won't get the attack buff if she has the unbuffable buff. So it turned out that having unbuffable on Tamron wasn't the worst thing in the world. But if it's on a character that is like your main DPS, you definitely want to kill the light ad first to get rid of that permanent unbuffable. Here we're going to start focusing Ravi. We soul burn the skill 1 here because we can kill the ad. Honestly, I probably don't even need to kill the ad at this point. Plus Bellona has her counterattack that does a good amount of chip damage. But Brig's going to use the skill 2, and then we're going to hit them ad anyways. And that should be good enough. Skill 3 on Tamron. Skill 3 on Luna. Fortunately, she resists both the defense break and attack down for some reason. I don't have that much effectiveness on my Luna, I guess that makes sense. We're going to skill 3 on Brig. We land both debuffs, which is good. Get a nice lucky dual attack there. And now that she has defense break once again, we are going to use the skill 3 in Bellona here. And then we're even going to soul burn Luna's skill 3. And she's almost dead here. I didn't want to take any chances. I just used Arky here to finish her off. And there you go. There's the fight. Alrighty guys, well that's going to be it for this Epic 7 video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But other than that, I'll see you guys in my next Epic 7 video. Take care, and peace.